I am back from holiday and I'm not wasting any time at all. Let's get the front suspension finished on my 3 Series. If you guys remember, you'll know that I actually changed the rear suspension about a month ago or so on the channel. The fitment of the rear looks so nice now. I haven't even started the front suspension yet. As this video was meant to go out last week on Sunday, I actually did start trying to do my front suspension before I went on holiday, before making a pretty big costly mistake, which meant I had to push back all of my plans. The date is currently Monday, the 2nd of September. I go away in 3 days time and I've got the video you saw last week to edit on my mum's car. I've got this video to film and to edit in literally 3 evenings because I work Monday to Friday 7 till 3, so we haven't got much time and I'm just going off knowledge. So as we have literally no time to waste, you can see this front left shock absorber has been leaking quite a bit of oil and definitely needs changing, but we're going to do the same on both sides as we go along so we don't waste any time at all. Let's just get to work and let's get this done as soon as we possibly can. Out here in the best possible weather, rain. Welcome to England. Oh, one more thing while we're trying to get the drop link off, which is the first thing that needs to be removed. This video is sponsored by Aux Tow. Thank you very much, guys. As I just mentioned then, the first thing I needed to take off was the drop link, but as I tried to do it, I found out the nuts were quite seized on, so I left it in the moment and tried to take off the track rod ends instead. So I used a 22mm socket to crack the nut until the bolt and the nut started spinning together on the ball joint. Next, I used a pass-through wrench and socket along with a 5mm Allen key to try and hold the bolt so I could undo the nut, not realising that the bolt's actually meant to be held with a T50 Torx. Therefore, I ended up stripping the inside of the bolt and not being able to get the nut off. And the exact same story goes for the other track rod end too. I should have just searched it up first. It is completely my fault. Well, there you go. We messed up the track rod ends, which are really frustrating because the bolts for them were so rusted, they just had no life left and they just fell apart and completely decayed on me. So I've gone to Eurocar Parts and I've bought these brand new optical track rod ends right here. And luckily, the track rod is in 2 pieces. You can see the thread just here, and this is the bit here that ended up going, obviously just up there. So we can take this pinch bolt off here and untwist these, and then we can take this off, obviously, once we've cut this nut in half. And if I want easier access to the front suspension, I'm gonna have to take those track rods off first. So we're gonna have to find a way to cut the nut in half. I think an angle grinder will do that. So the nut that's just here is far away from anything else, which is really helpful because I should be able to get the angle grinder in there and not cut through, say, one of these control arms by accident. That's quite helpful. So before we take off that nut with an angle grinder, we're gonna undo this little pinch bolt first, which is just holding the 2 bits of the arm together. Boom, 1 bolt out. 1 angle grinder and 1 nut. Who's gonna come out on top? I think I know who. So we've managed to get the track rod end off, which is really good. I've cut a little bit into the side of the wheel hub here, but I don't think that's going to be fatal. Next thing we need to do is obviously unthread this little end off here, but it's very tight. I've had to put some lock-on pliers here. We've got to try and somehow crack the thread and get this part of the arm off. It's going to be a difficult job, but we'll get there somehow. So to wait for the WD-40 to do its thing on the track rod, we're going to take off the drop link, which is 2 bolts, top and bottom. So to get it off, you need to hold it on with a spanner, 17mm spanner on one end, and undo the bolts with a 16mm socket, and that's the drop link off. So I'm struggling to get the track rod end bit off. I can't get the thread to come loose, so I've sprayed a load of WD-40 on it. We'll leave it and come back to it tomorrow. Next thing I'm going to do is take the 2 control arms off. Might need to drop the under tray, first to get to them, as it looks like that might just be in the way. There we go, that is 1 under tray off, and this has got like a foam bag or something on it, on obviously the inside of the under tray, which is really interesting. This was not on the 1 Series, but I'm gonna guess this is for the actual like sound absorption of the engine, so obviously it's a diesel, it will rattle a lot, so this is probably sound absorption, but it's pretty interesting, never seen that before. Also a heat shield as well, and we can also look completely at the bottom of the engine. It's pretty clean under here, you know. Hopefully soon we'll be doing a lot more mods to it. Anyway, the reason why we took it off is so we could access the bolts that go through the front control arm and this control arm here, which the under tray was in the way for. Now we've got access to them, should be able to get both of them off. I'm going to start with this rear one here, as it is a bit easier to access than the front one, because there's also the inner arch lining in the way for that one. Boom, one nut off, get in. Right, with the bolts for that arm off, next thing I'm gonna do is undo the bolt with this one. I believe there is a fixed nut on the other end, so you shouldn't have to hold it with a spanner on this one. Boom, another bolt out. This is going well, and one arm dropped. Yes! So the next thing to crack is this, what do you call it? The pinch bolt for the wheel hub on the strut. That's the next thing to do. But before we do that, we're also going to loosen the 3 bolts up top and just leave them nipped up so it holds the whole strut up. So once we undo this, this is all going to be able to be dropped off of the shock. Boom, next nut off. This is just, this is going good. All right, day one is gonna have to end with slight disappointment, but we also did a fair amount, we got a fair way, but I wish we did go a little bit further and get the strut out, but it's okay. What's stopping us is the pinch bolt that goes across is so tight and seized in, I cannot move it or get it out, which is slightly frustrating because that's what I need to get out next. But tomorrow I'm gonna start on this side and try to get this done as much as possible. With it all fresh in the brain, it shouldn't take as long as the other side and we'll be able to smash it out quickly. But let's just head to tomorrow afternoon.
The next day.
Good afternoon then, it is the next day. What we're gonna do first is get this wheel off, and then I think I'm gonna go into some sort of time lapse now of getting this side of the car to be the exact same as the other side. So we're gonna try and get the track rod end off like we did over here, get the control arms off, get this pinch bolt out, which I haven't actually managed to do yet because it got really tight obviously last night. And then we'll see what we can do about this track rod end arm. But yeah, a lot of work to do, not much time to do it. Let's just get to work. So first up was taking the wheel off, and then followed that up by taking the pinch bolt out for the track rod end. Next, I took off the drop link and I cracked the bolt and took the nut off for the pinch bolt on the wheel hub. I then got the angle grinder out and cut the nut in half for the track rod end. And then finally took the 2 bolts out for both control arms, dropping them to the floor. I also attempted to take the pinch bolt out for the wheel hub, but just like the driver's side, it was seized on. Right, we have picked up the pace today. No messing around at all. We're the exact same bit now, you could say, as we are on the other side. We need to get this pinch bolt out, which is really bloody tight once again, and we need to take this end of the track rod end off. And then once we've taken, once we've taken that pinch bolt out, we can then drop the wheel hub off the shock, then we could put the new coilovers in. But we gotta get these out, and they're very bloody tight, and it's just becoming a little bit difficult. So to make it seem like we're still making progress, what we're gonna do is loosen the 3 nuts on the top mounts up right now. The reason why we're going to do that is it just allows this to be a little bit more free, and hopefully we can get this pinch nut or pinch bolt out, should I say, and we can just drop this off. It's getting difficult to get it out. I'm not sure what it is. They're possibly a death bolt, which are like stupidly hard to get out, as Matt Armstrong calls them anyway. But we're going to try everything to get them out and go from there. So if I remember correctly, these should just be 13mm nuts. Yeah, they are. So if we just give it slight loosening. Oh, these ones are tight. And then the one under there we're going to have to do with a spanner. But what I'm going to do is take 2 completely off and leave 1 just on, as then it means, like I said, it should just be slightly more loose, a bit easier to work with, and it's still going to be held up because it will still be on one of the nuts. It's just something I think I've seen people do before. Yeah, that's one side done. Let's do this side. Yeah, both sides nice and loose. Now with that finished, the next thing that we need to do is So obviously get these pinch bolts out. Christ, God knows how we're gonna do this. Let's find a way. Progress, progress, progress. Oh, so we thought. This pinch bolt we have managed to, well, we haven't got it out, but as you can kind of see, the wheel hub is dropping off anyway. So what we're gonna do is wedge something into this gap here, try and open it up ever so slightly, because this is loose. This should be able to open up a little bit, and then we might be able to just drop this off without having to take that bolt off, which would be really quite helpful actually. So we're gonna give that a go. And then if that goes well, we should be able to take this shock absorber out. Fingers crossed, but we're not going to be recording it because someone is helping me who doesn't want to be on camera, but that's absolutely fine. I'll just give you updates with how it goes after each bit we do. All right, update then. We have made really good progress now. So we've got this strut out on this side, but we didn't get the pinch bolt out because it was just far too tight, but we managed to get it off anyway. We're now just trying to get the track rod apart because we obviously need to get the new ones on because of how messed up the ends are here. That's proven difficult. But we've done the exact same on the other side. As you can see, struts out, and this pinch bolt didn't come out. That's absolutely fine. We're just trying to get the track rods apart. But once we've done that, we can set up the new coilovers, get them on the car, and then we can put everything back together, and we should be done with the front suspension. It's going very good. I'm surprised how well it's going. This is all just knowledge when I did my 1 series. I'm not searching up anything, just going off what I know. To be fair, I'm pretty proud of myself, doing really good. But let's just keep on moving here and get this done, hopefully not tonight because we're running out of daylight, maybe tomorrow. Right then, final update for day 2. I feel like something straight out of like a horror movie, you know, we'll be under the bed sheets telling each other ghost stories now. But so here we are. We have taken off, as you can see, the full track rod from the right hand side of the car because we couldn't get it apart. So there it is in the garage. We've ordered a brand new tie rod and those rubber boots, so we'll be able to pick that up tomorrow, fit that. And then tomorrow we'll be able to put the new shock in and put everything back together on this side. And then on the passenger side of the car, obviously we managed to get the track rod off of the tie rod, which is perfect. Oh God, don't fall over. And then tomorrow we'll be able to screw that new one back on and do the exact same by putting the shock in and putting this all back together. So fantastic progress made for day 2. I'm really, really happy with this. Let's tidy up and I'll see you tomorrow. So who are Oxo Auto? Well, they're just a global supplier of car parts and essentials like I've got right here. So in that carry case is this portable tire inflator and car jump starter. This is just one product on their website. They have so many. I'll show you on screen right now all the sorts of things you can get, from obviously what I've got here being a tire inflator to things like interior light modifications and so much more. My standout product that they sell was obviously this tire inflator and car jump starter, not only because it's essential, but it also comes with a torch, and it also comes with USB plugins on the side because it is also a power bank at the same time. Not only this, but it's got a very user-friendly interface with just a few buttons which anybody can control. And with a very fast tire inflator, you can get a flat tire to a fully pumped up tire within 2 minutes. As I keep saying, this is an essential for anybody. So if you'd like to check out Oxo Auto, I'll leave a link to them down in the description. Use my discount code SamBryant to save yourself 15% off at checkout. Good afternoon then, it is day 3 and we're back, and Eurocar parts came in clutch. We've got that little gator boot there, as well as the track rod, which is perfect. So we'll be able to put all of that back together in just a minute. But first, let me show you this build right now. This is my neighbor and also my mate Jake. This is his ST. No, I don't think it's an ST. I think it's just a normal Fiesta. It's on bags, as you can see. It's pretty cool. Completely stripped out on the rear as well. It's got a Krapovich exhaust system, I believe. Carbon fiber, and it's real carbon fiber. Look, that proper woven carbon fiber. Look at those wheels. Those wheels are sick. This is just such a cool little build. What do you think of your car, Jake? It is very cool. Very, very cool. But we're going to crack on with my car and get the, what's it called, coilovers on the front. Hopefully be finished today because I need my car tomorrow. Let's get cracking. First thing we're going to need to do then is put this track rod assembly together. So we're going to take off this little plastic bit here, and this thread should wind up into the track rod end here. We're going to try and line it up roughly to be the same as one that we took off, because obviously this has got the correct tracking on, so hopefully it should line up correctly, but we'll probably need a wheel alignment afterwards. So with the gator now set up, it's not all the way up, but I reckon I'll be able to pull that on once it's on the car. and obviously put the clips on. But what we're now going to do is wind on the track rod end onto this track rod, and hopefully, like I said, get this somewhat lined up with the original part. Okay, so where that is right now, that's pretty good. I mean, it's a little bit loose, but as soon as we put this pinch bolt on through here, this should pull it tighter. But that is pretty much in line with the old one. Fingers crossed our tracking is on point. We'll see though. I don't reckon it will be, but that's just the way it goes. So with the new track rod set up, what we're going to do is try and thread this onto the rest of the steering rack now. This shouldn't be too hard. Now we're just going to tighten this up as hard as I can against the steering column. Go on, you! There we go. That is as tight as I'll probably be able to get that. And what we can now do is put this gator boot over the top and put the clip on. All right, so I'm struggling to get that little rubber gator back over the steering rack itself. So for now, what I'm going to do is work on this side of the car. So all we need to do is just wind on this track rod end, and then I can actually put all of this back together by putting in the shock and the wheel hub on and the arms and everything. Then we get this side back together. So I'm going to do that first, get this side all together and get back on the driver's side. So I'll just pop the front coilover in off camera. There it is, hanging, looking wonderful actually. It's quite loose though, because obviously you need to tighten these up to spec now. So I'm going to quickly research it, see what they get torqued up to, tighten them up. So after a little bit of research, these nuts are done up to what looks like 34 Newton meters. I don't have a torque wrench that does 34 Newton meters, so we're just going to have to settle for 40, which is a little bit over, but I'm sure that will be absolutely fine and shouldn't affect how the suspension is on the car. There, all done, torqued up to spec and on. This is what it looks like now. Let's get the wheel hub over the top of this, and then we can put everything back together. Big milestone moment then. We've got the wheel back on this side, suspension completely back together. That didn't take very long, maybe about an hour or so to do the whole thing. But yeah, you can see my wheel is quite buckled. You can also see where there's flat spots in it. Let me just find them right here. Look at that. That's meant to be round. Looks more like a square. You can really feel this when we drive along. It's like boom, 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 boom. Wow, it's not boom, boom, that's exaggerating. You're not even looking at me, hello. But that doesn't matter, because now what we need to do is put this side back together. We've got to finish off the track rod on this side to start with before we do anything else. So let's crack on with that. And then we should be able to put the strut tower in, or the strut in, should I say, and get everything finally back together. So we have lost daylight again. If the picture quality is really bad, I've had to up the ISO on my camera, meaning it's letting more light in, which damages picture quality, but we're just going to have to deal with it. Unfortunately, we've not managed to get everything back together, but I am not going to stop, because I'm going to get this back together off camera. But as I'm obviously losing light, we're not going to film this. I'll just show you the finished product tomorrow with how the car's sitting and obviously how the wheels are looking. Fingers crossed I get this done. We're not too far away, because I've already got that control arm in. Need to get the other one in, do this pinch bolt up, get the what's called track rod on, and then we should be good to go with the wheel. But I'll catch back in with you tomorrow.
The next day.
So it is the fourth and final day, and I did get the car back together. It's actually been a couple of days since I last recorded, because I went away for the weekend and it is now a new week. I didn't get my video out when I wanted to, which I'm really annoyed myself for, and I'm really sorry for doing that. But my car is undrivable. It is not in good shape at all. This suspension did not go as I expected. Just look at this fitment. It is awful. A lot of people might actually quite like this with it being really, really low, but it is not for me at all. It just looks shocking in my opinion. Yes, I can full lock the car and I can drive it, but I cannot drive it properly. I mean, this would be cool as a show car, but on the road and practicality, it is not there. It is just absolutely shocking. I hate it so much. So yeah, I feel like I've ruined my car doing this. It doesn't look good, it's not practical, I can't really drive it now because of it, and I think I've also created a leak at the same time. I think it's a water leak, whether I cracked the pipe or not, I don't know. So going forward, I think I'm just gonna have to put the original suspension back on the car, and I'm gonna get some brand new wheels, not second-hand ones with cracks this time, some brand new ones, fit them on the car, and then go forward from there with the suspension. Because yeah, this is just not gonna work. I hate how the fronts look. The rear is perfect. It looks so good, the fitment does on the rear, but the fronts, I'm not having that. It just, I hate it, it's shocking. So yeah, I feel like I've wasted a lot of money and a lot of time with this, but you live and you learn. We'll go forward from here and hopefully not make the same mistake again. For now, I think we're gonna leave it here with my car. I'm gonna fit the original suspension back on it soon, get some brand new wheels on there, like I just said. But that will be in a few weeks time because we've got Harry's 3 Series back on the channel with the first mods, and we've got a little fix that we need to do because the sensors for the rear brake pads, I believe, are broken. So we've got some new ones to fix that, and that video will come out this week on Sunday. So thank you ever so much for watching this week. I really appreciate it if you stayed till now. If you want to become a member, hit that join button down below. If you want to become a subscriber, just hit that subscribe button. Leave a like too whilst you're there. I'll see you on Sunday. Have a fantastic rest of your week. I'll catch you then. Peace out.